Yeah, it's kind of weird some of the questions that I get too, with golly. uh, I mean, it's actually mind blowing. Am I gay because I like gay porn? Um, why do I have dreams of relapsing? What makes you unhorny? Should I accept I'm a loser and just go ahead and quit NoFap? Is it okay to exchange texts with my wife? How come you coaches say willpower doesn't work? All right. So that's pretty much what we're going to do today. Answer some of those types of questions and, of course, some other questions. So let's get this party started. This is your life. This is your life. Right now is your life. Life is about right now. Live and live are spelled the same way. In order to live, you must be live. Right now. Right now. The past does not equal the future unless you give the past permission. You are the sum total of your dominant thoughts and decisions. Yes, you are. Change your thoughts, change your life. A little birdie told me that you have an out of control sexual behavior of some sort. That's an understatement. Pornography, masturbation, fantasization, or some kind of unhealthy sexual behavior. A little birdie also told me that it's starting to get the best of you. Here we go. And it's not okay anymore. That's good news. It not being okay. Because that's the beginning of how you can change it. We're going to have an adult, grown folk conversation about behaviors, attitudes, decisions, choices, actions to become healthy. Becoming healthy is a journey. It's not a one and done. It's not like the sexual addiction BS that you do where you just get all excited, you do this, and then you blast one. Now, it requires a lot more work than that. It's strategic. It's taking steps. It's reflection. It's looking inside. It's being introspective. It's deciding that you want a better life for yourself. That's what this is about. My name's Joseph F. Price. They call me Joey P. I'm going to be your host in this journey. I'm going to be your partner in this dance. We're going to do this together. We're going to become better people together. You are going to have sexual mastery. You are going to have mastery in your life. Yes, you are. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be somebody that you can be proud of. You're going to be somebody that even your mama can be proud. But it's not going to come free. You're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do some reflection. I'm going to give you some tools. I'm not going to do it all on my own. I'll bring some guests. They'll give you the good stuff. But here's what you got to do. Take this as a journey that you get better each and every day. A journey that we don't stop until we figured out how to do it and we become invincible. Yeah. We can become invincible to our pornography, sexual behaviors, and unhealthy other addictions. You just got to understand how it works. You got to understand how your mind is making you its bitch. I know you don't like that language, but you're the bitch of your mind. And so this work that we're going to do, It's about neutralizing that and you becoming the victor. You becoming the master. You becoming the man that you're supposed to be. That's what I'm talking about. So if that's something that interests you, if that's something that you want to do, then let's do that together. It ain't a one and done. It's a journey. So let's begin. Good afternoon, everybody, and everybody, good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, if that may be the case for you, wherever you are at this particular time. Joseph F. Price in the house. Coach Joey P. I sit there today, if you're on YouTube, sometimes I get a little bit animated in that intro. And just to kind of give you some information, most of the time when I do these podcasts, for some reason, when I started out, I made a rule to myself, because I did radio one time, a long time ago. And there's two things. Number one, I'm like Mr. Stutterer, and I'm not even, like they say, the guy. I'm the last guy on the planet that's supposed to be talking. The last guy on the planet that's supposed to talk for a living or any of that. No, I didn't have the gift of gab. I mean, I had the gift of talking. There's a difference. I had the gift of, or shall I say, I had the gift of running my mouth. But I definitely wasn't born with the gift of gab. That was developed, and I stutter, and I try to pull that out as much as possible. I'm not that born speaker, so it's a big challenge. And that's one of the reasons why I put music in the background, because, I don't speak as fast as other people. And I know that you think faster than I talk. And sometimes I slow down on purpose to make you think. But if you don't want to think, dead air will cause you to leave. So that's why I have the music in the background. So let me thank Mr. Juma I King, for, from day one being gracious enough to say, yeah, it's cool. We'll provide you with the music, because I knew that I wanted music for that reason. So that's a little bit of background there. But as I was listening to that intro, some background on that, I had the opportunity to record that, as opposed to what I like to do in the media business. We call it live to tape. So I like to do live to tape. So I've only actually done like 4 cuts total on all of the podcasts. Live to tape is pretty good. It really I figure I'll let it go if I make a slip, and that'll cause me to be better. If I keep cutting it, I won't be able to raise the standard. So oftentimes what I find is when I do a tape like an intro, I have the luxury of continuously stopping the tape. And therefore, I think my expectation level goes down because of that safety. And then it doesn't come out so well. And as I listened to that intro, the background is it took like 2 hours to get that. And I would say that intro is like a D in terms of, my delivery. I mean, like, I'm not flowing the way that I would love to flow in a intro. But nonetheless, as I was listening to that intro, I am so thankful for what it was that's said, because oftentimes, like I could just skip the intro myself, because it is kind of boring. And, if that's going to be the difference between you listening to my podcast or not, I'd rather you skip the intro. But oftentimes I listen to the intro because the intro reminds me of what I need to tell you, because what's in the intro is what's important as you begin this journey. So, just some information on the intro, because it's really there, like what you need to do. I kind of summed it up pretty well. The delivery and all that kind of thing like that, the delivery police probably would write me all kinds of citations, but as far as the meat of what you need to do, I think I captured it pretty well. So with that said, today I want to kind of just do question and answer. I got a bunch of questions people asked. I don't know what order that I'm going to do them. I've kind of decided today that I'm going to keep this to 40 minutes, and then we'll probably make it a part A and a part B, or part 1 and part 2, whichever one you like. So I'll mark what time it is right now and what time I need to get out of here. All right. So yeah, I'll get out of here at the hour. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Is I'm going to answer some of the questions that people have. Before I begin to answer these questions, one of the foundational things, I just want to remind you what kind of the intro did it, but I just want to kind of remind you of what makes the difference between you being addicted to porn and masturbation and you being free of being addicted to porn and masturbation. And what makes the difference, very simply, is how much work you do, how much effective work you do. Again, I'll say it, I'm not trying to wear you out. You invested 2,500 plus hours into your addiction. So we need to invest some time in reversing your addiction. Now, 2,500 hours is a standard that we use. Some people actually, we know it's 3 times that amount, and probably sometimes maybe 4 or 5 times in very extreme cases. So the degree of which you have invested into your addiction, that really determines the degree of how much work you need to do. So oftentimes people want to ask questions, and the answer is not necessarily for them because of how they invested in that addiction. So bottom line is, you've done a whole lot of work to get to where you are. And just to keep it real and keep it simple, you're sick. S-I-C-K. S-I-C-K. You're sick. Okay? You're sick. Anybody that spends in a year 300 hours with their hands in places of their own, there's got to be something sick about that. Excuse me. I came out gentle on that. Anybody that puts their hands on themselves in places. Like if we were in the middle of the podcast and I got warmed up and everything, I might get a little bit stronger about that. But seriously, it's sick. So what we're about is unsickening yourself. There's a brokenness, and that's what we're about. We're about beginning the process of healing that's necessary, and realigning yourself with your purpose that's necessary, and reconnecting yourself with your highest self that's necessary in order for you to get out of this addiction. So again, I just want to remind you that you invested time in getting to where you are, which sick, or if you want to be gentler about it, broken, or if you want to be super gentle about it, problematic. Okay. The more you want to cognitively distort yourself, the longer it's going to take for you to heal. And I'll say it again. Even better, the addiction process is about a series of cognitive distortions. And the more that you cognitively distort yourself, the longer it's going to take for you to alleviate yourself of this addiction. And this addiction is a journey. That's a foundational point that I guess I have to make every single time, because that's what you got to do. That's what's been missing. You haven't been willing to take the journey effectively. You want it one and done. You want it blast style, and you want it quick. Got news for you. Ain't gonna happen like that. Got news for you. It ain't gonna happen like that. It isn't gonna happen like that for the people that want to waste their time being grammar police. Okay, so let's start with the questions, and let's see how we can get through this. First of all, as far as the answer of the question, no matter how good my answer is, there's a better answer. And no matter how good my answer is today, tomorrow my answer probably will be better. So I don't answer the question, or don't answer any question, don't intend to answer any question as it. I would hope my intent, my heart is driving me to give you a decent answer. My hope is in that decent answer that there's a more extended and extensive answer. But my intent is to at least give you a basic core answer to some of these questions. So without further ado, let's go for it. All right, so the first question, which is goofy, is what's wrong with me? Okay. And that's a perfect place for me to start. Because if you don't know me, which you probably don't as well. Yeah, I've been to Tony Robbins schools and stuff of that nature. And so first of all, one of the things that you're going to learn in that type of school is the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life, because they're going to determine the quality of your thinking. So if you ask a low quality question like, what's wrong with me? The only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to get a low quality answer. So if you answer what's wrong with me, I mean, I'm not even going to explore a low quality answer. Okay. So my answer to the question, pretty much, nothing's wrong with you. Might it be that you are doing certain behaviors that are ineffective and not serving you? And might it be that you're abundantly and perhaps even egregiously doing that? Yeah. But as far as is there anything wrong with you? Now, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you. And actually, from here forward, don't give yourself permission to even allow yourself to say that there's something wrong with you. I didn't put it in my notes, but question I want to ask you, or answer for you, because it usually doesn't get asked to me, but when I ask it, I always get the wrong answer. And this question that I am asking you is, do you think that your porn addiction is your fault? And I will ask the question again, and then I'll answer it. Do you think that your porn addiction is your fault? That should have given you enough time to say yes. And my answer is no! No! No. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The short answer is you're a man. Society has hijacked your brain with constant sexual influences. Somehow you stumbled into porn. As a result of you stumbling into porn, that took on another life of its own. You didn't even realize what was going on until you had your day of reckoning, which is the day you realize you have a problem, until you had your day of reckoning, and here you are. So, far as it being your fault, no, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Now, here, you come back a year from now and you say you're struggling with porn and you got a porn problem. A year from now, it's your fault. Because, see, you've been exposed to the tool. Some kind of way you've been exposed to that you need a system and some of the things that you need to do. So it's clear that in a year from now, if you're struggling, that you haven't followed the plan or any plan. I know that you haven't. You see, because the thing is that in order for you to struggle, you have to feed your struggle. The way you feed your struggle is the way you always fed your struggle, unconsciously. And once you do the work and become conscious, you'll stop unconsciously feeding it. And when you stop unconsciously feeding it, my friend, you stop struggling. That's why I know a year from now, if you're struggling, that you didn't do the work, and because you were lazy, it's your fault. But why you're a porn addict, why you are a porn addict, that's not your fault. That's not your fault. And for those of you that also need another healing moment right now, I mean, you know, I hope that knowing that it's not your fault is a moment of healing for you, really, so that you don't feed your shame anymore, because it's not your fault. Here's what I want you to know. You Christian men out there, you non-Christians, you can speed it up 1 minute, but you Christian men out here, I want you to know that that lie you've been telling yourself about how God doesn't love you as much, stop that one. That's just as bad as the other. God died, sent his son to die for you on a cross. He also told a group of people, for you, the one that's lost, he's going to chase you down. He's going to light it up. Ain't no door he ain't going to knock down. He'll go under whatever he has to go under, go over anything he has to go under, knock down anything he has to knock down, light up anything that's dark that needs to be lit. For you. And he told those people, I believe it's Matthew 18:2. He told those people, I'm going after the one. I ain't worried about y'all 99 that got y'all self in check. I'm going after the one out of check. And when I bring him home, I'm going to be happy. Because I came here for that one that was lost. I ain't come here for y'all that y'all that's good. I came here for the one that was lost. So, Mr. Porn Addict, Jesus came for you, and he died for you too. So stop telling yourself that lie about he don't love you, okay? Okay, cool. All right. So here's another goofy question that comes up. Is a little porn okay? From the start. So the kind of person that asks, is a little porn okay? So we're coming from a place of you have an addiction. So once you have an addiction, it's kind of like you've crossed the line, and there's not really any kind of that wonderful word that they use, demarcation. There's not a line. You just crossed it. And once you crossed it, the rules change. So once the rules change, they've changed. So for you, the answer is a little porn is never, ever, 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 ever gonna be okay. Now, maybe for somebody that they've never been exposed to any kind of porn in their life. Maybe if they're exposed to porn 5 or 6 or 7 times in their whole life, and they're deliberate about it just being 5 or 6 or 7 times, which that doesn't really happen in the real world, maybe that would be okay. So the answer to the question is, is a little porn okay? Hell no. All right, here's a question. What is PIED? Porn erectile dysfunction. That's what happens is, it happens because a person continuously looks at porn, and that becomes their habitual way of getting off. And one thing, again, I forgot to say that, you know, part of your porn addiction is that there's a connection to masturbation addiction. It bounces back and forth off your masturbation addiction. That's because overall you have a sex addiction. And so what happens is you don't know any of this. And your body is pulled to get the cocktail of neurochemicals that comes with PMO, as we're going to call it from now on in these podcasts, porn, masturbation, and orgasm. All right, so your body gets used to PMO. It gets used to the neurochemicals provided through the PMO, and that's actually what you get addicted to. The problem is you haven't figured that out. The problem is nobody told you. I stopped by to tell you. And then what happens is, because that's a very significant addiction, there's about 5 neurochemicals. You look my name up on LinkedIn, there's an article that I wrote about those neurochemicals. But there are neurochemicals, and one of them is actually how it stimulates a part of your body that makes opiates. You can look up the term endogenous opiates. So that's actually created through the use of pornography. So that's actually what you're trying to fight in reverse. Again, you didn't know any of this crap. You started watching porn, then from porn you got excited, you masturbate, then after the masturbation, let's take it all the way. So you take it all the way, and that's an entourage of neurochemicals. And so you have to have the leverage of that knowledge to know that that's what it is that you're battling, and you have to gain leverage to battle that. You're battling that in addition to 256 habits, in addition to the fact that, ooh, that feels pretty good. You got to have a strategy. You got to have a war plan. You got to have a battle plan. You got to have a game plan in order to beat this stuff. Okay? So, let's see here. Will a porn blocker help? That's a common question. So, porn blockers, no. Porn blockers are assisting devices, but no, you don't rely on a porn blocker in and of itself. I could do a whole workshop on that. That's something that it helps your wife feel safe about your activity. It helps keep you a little bit safe, but you need to dig inside of yourself and do some of the reversal work. And the idea of getting a porn blocker that's going to cost you 15 months to reverse a 2,500 hour plus earned addiction is actually insane. To think that you're going to just dispense with the addiction that you have worked hard 25 hours to obtain, that you're just going to spend $15 a month to get rid of it. That's goofy. That's just downright goofy. And that's part of, like, I'll say it all day, all night, and, I'll preach one more time in Corinthians 1:13 at the bottom of the page. I got it right in the last podcast. Yeah, it talks about, that you need to put away childish things. And that's part of getting out of the porn cycle, my friend, not doing porn, is that you have to grow up. And it's out of that growing up that you do the things that go away. And it's because of the fact that you're stuck in that juvenile mindset that you're doing juvenile things that support you in staying stuck. You don't know it, you don't see it because you're too busy, enjoying yourself with PMO. Oh. All right. So here's a good question. Why do I tell guys to get off of social media? Well, social media is one of those things that I've grown to call porn that's not porn. So in the context of you're almost getting to porn, that's what social media is. So it's not porn, but it's almost porn, and in a way it's porn, and it's just one step away. So you might as well stay off of all forms of social media, unless it's absolutely essential that it's work-related, period. And you better be careful about the fact that you're going to try to keep your brain, because again, it wants to get the PMO. So unconsciously, it's going to trick you every way it can. One way it starts with the Facebook, you get a little bit aroused, and then you move to something else. Okay, so that's why we don't want you on the Facebook, because you need to, start building walls, and that'll help you. I always tell people, how many times you want to be tempted a day? Do you want to be tempted 4,000 times a day, or do you want to be tempted 12? More than likely, if you haven't been trained, you're tempted 4,000 times a day, because the way that you've got your life wired and your behavior patterns. When you shift those behavior patterns, because you deliberately shifted them, because you're deliberately not going to trigger yourself, can reduce the amount of times that you're tempted. And that's one of the, here's a kind of a misnomer that you find with porn addicts. Something that they talk about all the time, and they talk about, I got a high sex drive. And, so I'll just turn that into a question, which is, why do I have a high sex drive? You have a high sex drive because you think about sex all day long, and you look at porn all day long, and you touch yourself all day long. And anybody that thinks about women naked all day long and touches themselves all day long and thinks about sex all day long, kind of gonna be horny all day long. Duh. All right. Why is changing mindset so important? It's kind of like the answer to that last question, in case you're wondering why I was laughing. Why is changing mindset so important? Because you become a byproduct of your mindset. Every area of your life is a byproduct of your mindset with respect to that particular area of your life. And it's out of the mindset that you have in any particular area of your life that you form an identity. And it's out of that formed identity that picture of your soul, the identity picture, becomes what lives inside of your soul. And because that lives inside of your soul, that's what you manifest. You have to think about the identity is almost like goal setting and intention. And if anybody's studied like a little bit of goal setting and intention, you always have a way of manifesting what it is that your mind to goal setting and intention. Some people like to think it's a mystical thing. Some people like to think it's a spiritual thing. And, I'm not going to argue with either one of them. Actually, I'm going to say I kind of agree with them. But, for some people, they don't want to buy that. And that's okay. Here's something that I'm going to help you to buy. There's something called the reticular activating system. Now, your brain, to keep you from being like going out of your mind, causes you to focus on things that you've decided that are important, because otherwise you'd focus on everything. All right? So because porn's important and sex is important, your reticular activating system, you can look it up in Google, keeps sending you back to sex, sending you back to sex, sending you back to sex, sending you back, because you told your brain that that's important to you. Now, as soon as you tell your brain, because you shifted your identity to that of a healthy person, you see, then your brain keeps telling itself, healthy person, healthy person, healthy person, healthy person, healthy person. And your reticular activating system keeps seeking healthy person, healthy person, healthy. Yeah, let me talk to Joey P, because I'm healthy. Let me talk to Eddie C, because he's healthy. Let me talk to JK, because he's healthy. Let me talk to Craigie P, because he's healthy. Let me talk to Maddie D, because he's healthy. You know, you might not be able to talk to those guys, but they can talk to you. They got podcasts. Get to work. Okay. Yeah, it's moving here. Coming out. You know, you never know how this stuff is gonna really evolve. I haven't really like scripted my podcast to a T, and I'm gonna take 2 more questions, and then we're gonna cut this side off, and then we'll stop again and try to give you something real important before I close this out. Okay. Yeah, what is the importance of a why? That's like that's a gem. So yeah, that's a good one right here. First of all, why comes first, and then how comes second. That's kind of the answer to the question. Why is it important for you? But let me explain what I'm saying. So my why, Joey P, to be healthy and sober, which quite frankly now I don't even really need a why, but I guess my why to get there was because if you listen to my story, I knew when I started the journey of not doing porn that I was going to serve men. And in my heart, I mean, I wish, I hope, I really pray it would be beautiful if it happens, if it doesn't, but really I just came up with, can I help 1 million men? That would be a great thing for me to do before I pass. And I think I'll be able to do it anyway, because one of the great things is this work that I'm doing right now. It stays. And so I always tell guys, like my why was that I always want to be able to look you in the eye, look you straight in the eye. First of all, let me start by telling you there's nothing that you can do to stop porn from coming your way. That's another thing you need to get clear on, because you're a man, we live in a pornified world, so you can't, that is not a goal. That's a stupid goal that you cannot attain. People send me porn because they know what I do. People send porn to people just because. So as far as did I see porn, we cannot talk about that. Let me tell you what to do when you see porn. You do exactly what you tell your 5-year-old. You click the X and turn it off and walk away. You tell the 5-year-old to tell mom. You tell yourself, I got to do something different because something caused it possibly to come. If you didn't cause it to come, that's it. You walk away from it. You're done. You have nothing to be ashamed of because somebody chose to send you some porn. You have nothing to be ashamed of because somebody sent you some porn to be evil. You have nothing to be ashamed of because somebody sent you some porn to be evil and you saw something that you liked. You don't have anything to be ashamed of. Just click the X and go. Okay, so for starters, I just want to put that down. That's not the goal. Porn can come to my desk tomorrow. I told my class, I sent a text trying to get a lawnmower to the wrong address, and a guy sent me porn back. I sent a text to the wrong address. Hey, what's up with that lawnmower? And the guy sends me porn. I don't think he knows who I am. Maybe he did a Google search. I don't know. I had a couple things to do with that. Do I want to tell him, dude, you got a problem? I'm a porn coach, And I said, no, I don't. Because I thought about all the steps it takes that you have to put this on your phone, et cetera, et cetera. All the steps it takes to send me porn that you have to be comfortable with, that you're so deep in it, you're not ready for what I have to say. Which always brings me to that final point that, you need to get to moving on your porn journey, because as soon as you get some traction in your porn journey, then you start to see some stuff you didn't see. Beautiful stuff. And it's really stuff I can't tell you about. Stuff you need to work on as well. It's also stuff you need to work on. So my why has always been that, I want to be able to look you in the eye and say, I haven't deliberately looked at porn. I think it's like 4 years. Not that it matters exactly how long. But yeah, I haven't deliberately looked at porn in 4 years. I've been trapped once or twice with some foolishness that come through my email, as well as some stuff people just sent me like that. Been trolled a time or two. So that's where you are. That has always been my why. And when you have a why, because see, I feel like my ministry, I feel like my legacy, this is a part of my ministry, my legacy, to serve you and to make you better. And I feel that would interfere with my ability to serve you. That's what I tell myself. But at the end of the day, if it were to happen, which it isn't, but me talking to myself as a coach, it would be, no, I would pick up the pieces and go the same way I would tell you to pick up the pieces after a relapse or a slip, as we call it, and go. That's not going to happen, but that's what I would do. And then I would just simply be transparent about it, and I would go from there. Because what really matters is what you're doing. And we can talk about it at another time, but this is a good time for me to end on a pretty high note. The time that you failed, that can be your best time. And that leads me to another note. This whole porn addiction thing, this whole junk in your life, you can turn this around and have this be your best moment, because that's what this is here for. Let me preach again. Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. In every adversity is a seed for an equal or greater benefit. Okay, so it's there for you to get better. It's there for you to make this moment. This ugly moment can be the beginning of your best moment. This lemon can be the makings of lemonade. What a perfect way to end. With that, this is Joey P. Please subscribe to the channel, like the channel, spam the channel to some of your friends. Let's get a revolution, man. Because I'm just here trying to help you out. That's all I'm here to do. To help you out. To help you one day at a time to become a better person. You are enough. You deserve it. I'll see you next time. You can contact me if you like on Facebook. Facebook/Coach J 2020, Coach J 2020, or Facebook/Your Transitions Coach. So the 3 words, Your Transitions Coach. That's pretty much it for now. Again, you're more than enough. This is a journey, one day at a time. You invested 2,500 hours to get to where you are. Let's invest some time and some commitment into getting better. I'm Joseph F. Price, Coach Joey P. Drive with care. Walk with caution. Make today and every day your living masterpiece. God bless you. We'll see you soon. Yep.